What's going on, my lovely people? Man, I got something to tell y'all, and I don't want y'all to make the same mistake as I made. I'm not gonna necessarily say it's a mistake. It's just a learning curve. It's a huge lesson had I not paid attention and kind of been like in the wholesale space, real estate transactions. So that's why I said, let me make this video. Don't me waste no more time. Let my lovely people know what happened with me. So, I share with you all about finding you a house through owner financing and everything like that, right? And how you don't have to have credit to get a house. You really don't. You can find creative ways to buy you a house. Okay, so don't give up. Okay, even with my experience I'm about to share with y'all, don't give up. You can still do this, right? But let me tell you, let me warn you. So I found me a house, a modular home on land. Yes, I found me a mobile home on land. And it was being offered up to me as owner financing. Now, as me being a notary loan signing agent, anyway, I know 99% of the time, most real estate closings have to be done with an attorney. North Carolina, South Carolina, it doesn't matter. It has to be, attorney has to be involved in some kind of which way, right? Well, I had gone to view the property, and I was just, I fell in love with it. Oh, it's so nice, so pretty. Oh, I was making all these big dreams, on YouTube, seeing how people fix up mobile homes and turn them into how they want them to be, and all this kind of fun, interesting stuff, right? So then I took my stepdad down with me, and I wanted to get his opinion about some things, because what I saw that needed repair, he might have said, well, he could add to it, because I respect his opinion, because he does handyman work, he does painting and stuff like that. So I respect his his opinion. So y'all, let me tell you. So I'm like, okay, now if my stepdad said this is a go, it's a go. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to drop the money, and I'm going to live on about my life, and I'm going to document my journey fixing this mobile home up on this land. Okay, so something in my spirit just wasn't sitting right. You know what I'm saying? Like Nikki's like something like, Nikki, no, Nikki, you're putting your horse before the cart. And I was just like, you know how you just want something to be what it is, but it ain't. Okay, so that's what it was with me. So anyway, so I get back home. This was on the weekend. So when we get back home that Monday, I started making phone calls. So the first place, previous that week, they told me, the people who were selling me the house said that I would have to, because it was investors, and they were selling on behalf of the investors. They would tell me that I need to get homeowners insurance. So mind you, I had called this one particular company, and I had given him all the information, and he never got back with me. So that was one red flag. So I called him on a Tuesday. I gave him time to get back with me. I called him back on a Thursday. His secretary answered the phone, and she like, oh, well, he's working at the office today, and can I take your number and have him call you back? So I said, cool, I understand. So he never calls me back. He never emails me back. He never calls me back. He never does none of that, because he asked could I email him certain information? Sometimes in business, that's how, it's easier to keep communication through email. So I had email. He never responded to that email. So that was like a red flag. But then, like I said, when I called back, after he never called me and never responded to my email, and his secretary come talk about, can I take a message? Now, mind you, the very first time I called this agency, I was transferred directly to him. But now all of a sudden, I'm getting, pushed around. So I was like, okay, cool. So I had already told my sister about it, and she was like, well, call this particular, call State Farm. Just put their name out there. Call State Farm. So I called State Farm, right? So I get a representative on the phone. I said, listen, I'm thinking about buying this mobile home on land. I'm doing it like owner financing. I had the year, I had the make, I had the length of the home, and all this kind of stuff. I had a parcel number, because I had looked it up on Zillow. Yeah, I was doing my investigation. I had looked it up on Zillow. I had a parcel number, and the insurance guy was like getting my information. He like, well, he said, I'm gonna have to do some further investigation on this. Let me call you back. So I was like, cool. So I go in with my day and everything, and like maybe an hour or two later, I was on the phone with like an hour or two later, he called me back, and he was like, his supervisor got on the phone, or the person over the insurance company, I like the lead person, was like, I'm just thinking this would not be a good fit for us. And I'm like, well, don't y'all sell homeowners insurance for manufactured home? You're like, yeah, but you might want to find somebody in that state. Although we service North Carolina and South Carolina, you might want to find somebody closer because, we might have to, it might just be a little bit too much legwork for us because we have to go and we might have to take pictures. And, I think it'd just be better for somebody that's in that area. Now, mind you, that's not even the person I spoke to the first time when I was giving them the rundown. So, in the meantime, in between times, I like, Nikki, something ain't right. So, then I get on, I look up the county that I want to move into. So, I called the tax assessor's office. And I'm like, I'm trying to make sure that I told them my rundown. So, I'm thinking about buying this property. It's on a finance and it's a mobile home on land. I just want to make sure ain't no back taxes on it. So they're like, oh no, I get no parcel number. They're like, oh no, ain't no back taxes on it. They said, but is the mobile home deeded to the land? I'm like, deeded to the land? Never knew anything about it. It just went over my head, y'all. Just went over my head. I didn't know that the land and the mobile home was separate. Could be separate. So, I went down the rabbit hole, going to 5 different departments trying to get information, but I'm so thankful that I was transferred to all the many different representatives with the experience that they had and the knowledge that they had. That's why I'm sharing with you all, because one person told me that the land was owned by the investor, but somebody else told me that the land was that the mobile home was owned by 2 individuals. And then someone asked the question was the mobile home deeded to the land? That was something I need to find out. So with me going through all this stuff back and forth, for which I'm thankful, I was kind of a little stressful, but I was still thankful that although I didn't know exactly what to ask, what a little bit of information I did know to ask, they could put it together, put the pieces to the puzzle. So they were like, I don't know. They kept like, I don't know, because I'm like, well, how much? Because they were like, well, how much is the mobile home valued at? I said, well, how much, is it? How do you know how much is valued at? How much do you know how much the land is worth? Because my whole thought process, y'all, was because they were trying to sell the property for like 103. And I was like, well, ain't no way that mobile home worth no 103 because it was a 2002. So I'm thinking like they selling me the land. I'm pretty much just getting the land. Okay, so that's good. They ain't making no more land. I just settled for the land. So I was cool with that, y'all. Believe it or not, I was actually cool with that. But then, like, the second time I went back there, and I know I'm going back and forth, the second time I went back there, the AC unit was gone. And I'm like, I called the person who's selling it to me, like, the realtor on behalf of the investor. I'm like, the AC unit is missing. It's being sold as is. It's being sold as is. He got real snappy with me. First of all, you don't get snappy with me when you asking me for $103,000. Like, I don't care. And so I was like, I was really, really, really boiling on the inside, because how dare you get disrespectful to me in your tone when you're asking me to pay you $103,000. So after I get off the phone with them, the person who's wanting to sell me a house, not the first sales representative, because mind you, that's another thing. Be cautious. The first sales representative, I could never get them back on the phone. From our initial talk, because I started asking questions. They don't like that. When they're doing stuff janky, they don't like you asking questions. So I started asking the sales representative more and more questions about the situation. Just asking general questions like, I can't remember what all I asked them, but I asked them questions. So maybe after the second time me talking to them on the phone, I seen them in person, and then I talked to them on the phone, and then I think I called them a third time, and they're like, oh yeah, make sure you talk to them, because they want that commission. I'm thinking they wanted $9,500. That's why it's called my $9,500 home. They wanted $9,500. They wanted $500 to take it off the lot, take it off the market as being sold, and then they wanted $9,000 as a down payment, and then my mortgage payment would be $1,044. Well, I'm saying, okay, that's fine, that's not bad, because the cost of rent and everything like that, $1,044 for it would be financed for 20 years at the percent of 20 or 12%.